Hello and welcome to Why You Should Play Lawbreakers, the video series where I tell you why Lawbreakers is worth your time. It was released on August 8th, 2017, developed by Boss-Q Productions, published by Nexon America, and is out on PC and PS4. Lawbreakers is a 5v5 competitive arena/hero FPS set in a dystopian future. Basically, humanity blew up the moon and fucked up gravity on planet Earth. I guess that's just what humanity does. Play one of 9 different character classes, each having their own style of movement, weaponry, and abilities, including laser boots, rocket launchers, and an Emperor Palpatine ultimate. Play one of 5 well-known game modes, with some special twists. There's Blitzball, where you take the Blitzball to the enemy's goal. There are 2 area fight modes, 2 catch and defend in your base modes, and changing skirmishes. Currently, it's Team Deathmatch. Most maps feature a low gravity area that lets you fly around, and it allows for extremely fast and skilled movement. Also, you can shoot behind your back for better acceleration in the low gravity area. All game modes are 5v5, Law versus Breakers with symmetrical maps. The core mechanics revolve around movement, aiming, and timing your abilities. Let's talk about the negatives of Lawbreakers. There's a lack of proper tutorials even after 4 patches that introduce new players in the zero gravity mechanics and the overall mechanics of the game. It's mainly tutorial videos and a short sandbox level. Also, the player base is smaller than most might like, but matchmaking works pretty well at time of recording. But some players will have issues finding any games depending on the locations. The only locations I know that have a constant player base is Europe and US East. The learning curve for this game is very steep, especially for FPS beginners on PC, so some people will be turned off from the beginning. There are too many rough edges to an otherwise extremely well crafted and well made first person shooter. Also, the characters are not as distinct and unique as they could have been. So why do I like Lawbreakers? Because every character has an extreme amount of depth and allows players to improve. Also, it's one of the best games in terms of movement, gunplay and verticality. It just feels right. It also rewards players that really want to master their characters and their playstyle. According to Battle Nonsense, the netcode is extremely fair and fast, and after playing around 150 hours of this game, I can tell you the netcode is really well done. Also, the art style is very beautiful, clean and simple. The most important thing about this is that it's clean and simple, because you can see your enemies, you know where you can go and where you can't go, you always know where you have to go. That's an important thing. Also, the game only has symmetrical maps, which allows for balanced matches. Also, there are well-known game modes, but they all have a special twist by Boss-Q. That's an important thing for me, because I've seen the same game modes over and over again. Without a new twist, they're usually not fitting into the game. Also, all future content like characters and maps will be free. The only kind of microtransactions that are in the game are cosmetics out of loot boxes, or stash drops, how they're called in this game. It also includes balancing changes and bug fixes, and there have been 4 patches since launch. That's a lot of patches in a very short amount of time. Also, they added skirmishes that add a new and different experience to the game. Right now we have a beta map in the skirmishes, and it also adds a TDM mode, Team Deathmatch. So what's my conclusion on Lawbreakers? Lawbreakers is hard to get into, especially with the lackluster tutorial, but it rewards players for learning every single character to excel at combat. The game respects your time and skill and wants you to take the challenge of mastering every single character. Also, every player coming from an Unreal Tournament or Quake background will find something familiar. The gunplay, the movement, the verticality, it just feels right. Lawbreakers offers a grittier, darker and thankfully more mature take on a hero arena shooter. It all depends on your preferences. And here comes in the inevitable comparison to Overwatch. I do not like the comparison because they're not similar. As soon as you play both of them, you know what the main differences are. But on the one hand side, you have a main emphasis on dark and mature themes in Lawbreakers and a cartoonish and exaggerated emphasis in Overwatch. Also, you have an emphasis on movement and aiming on Lawbreakers' side, and more on abilities, team composition and tactics on Overwatch side. Also, Lawbreakers feels a lot like an arena shooter and less like a hero shooter. Overwatch on the other side does not feel like an arena shooter at all, it's just a hero shooter. It's just a down on the floor game with most of the characters. So, what's my final conclusion about the game? Lawbreakers is a game that you can sink your teeth into, to set yourself up to a challenge and become a total badass in the long run. You can decide if you want to buy the game. I think you should buy it and just try it. If it doesn't work for you, just refund it in the first 2 hours. Be prepared to have a rough time in the first few matches and just try to look up some videos to find out how to play the game. I think the game is worth the $30. It's currently a little bit cheaper than that, it's 25% off. Just try the game out and then tell me what you thought. Also tell me what you think about my little review or why you should play video about Lawbreakers in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.